Information spreads at lightning speed, the truth often struggles to keep up. But what happens when misinformation gets a head start? A new study might have the answer. We saw misinformation spread like wildfire during the pandemic, mostly around the effectiveness of the COVID-19 vaccine.
We often get asked, can you get COVID-19 from the vaccine? As I just told you, the vaccine is a small component of the virus. It's not the virus itself. So it is impossible to get COVID-19 from the vaccine. Secondly, does it get into my DNA? It is biologically impossible for that to happen. Can it make me sterile? There is no biological reason at all to think that would happen.
The spread of misinformation isn't anything new. We hear about it happening during each election, whenever there's a discussion about, say, climate change. We even saw it happening this summer.
Stop wearing sunscreen because it's terrible for your skin. Let me tell you why. Okay, so if you're wearing sunscreen, it is supposed to, help you prevent, sun damage, all that good stuff. You know what's actually doing when you wear sunscreen? It's messing up your estrogen levels, it's messing with your hormones, it has a lot of bad toxic things inside of it.
With the evolution of technology, artificial intelligence, and social media, it can be difficult to distinguish between fact and fiction. And researchers have discovered something unsettling. When people encounter misinformation first, simply presenting them with the facts later may be the least effective way to change their minds. The study focused on adding fluoride to water as an example, a topic that's often surrounded by myths. Participants were divided into two groups, some reading misinformation first, others starting with facts. And the results were clear. Those who read misinformation first struggled the most to correct their understanding. The group that did best, those who read a text that directly disproved common misconceptions. It wasn't just about presenting facts, but addressing the falsehoods head on. As misinformation spreads faster than ever, this research highlights the need for a new strategy. Instead of simply correcting the record, educators and communicators may need to address potential misconceptions before they take root. Tell us your thoughts about this study. You can connect with us on Instagram and Twitter using the hashtag OYSTonight. You can also scan that QR code where you can send us an email. Coming up next here on Your